Assalamu alaikum class. Today our topic of discussion is the digestion in the man. Digestive system of the man is a long coiled tube. It has two separate openings, a mouth for the ingestion of the food and the anus or the for the removal of the waste products from the body. A mouth or oral cavity opens into the esophagus, then it opens into the stomach, then into the small intestine, then into the large intestine. Okay. A small intestine has three parts. First part is known as the duodenum, second is known as the jejunum, and third one is known as the ileum. And in the similar way, large intestine has also three parts: ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, cecum, and the rectum. Cecum is a small pouch extending from the large intestine, and it may be involved in the it may be a residence of some useful bacteria. And a last portion is known as the rectum. Various glands are also included. Salivary glands, these are present in the oral or the buccal cavity or in your mouth. Liver is involved in the detoxification of various substances in your body. Pancreas, it is involved in the release of the digestive enzymes as well as the insulin and the glucagon. Mainly the sites of digestion in the human are the oral cavity or the mouth. In oral cavity or mouth, ptyalin is released, which is involved in the breakdown of the starch. In the stomach has HCl and the pepsinogen, which is helpful in the killing of microbes as well as the digestion of the protein. Small intestine is involved in the digestion of the food, and the small intestine is also involved in the absorption of the food. Here you can see the diagram of the human digestive system. This is the man oral cavity, and this is the tongue. And human have three salivary glands. Parotid glands, these are present just in front of ears. Sublingual glands, these are present just below the tongue, and the submandibular glands, these are present below the mandible. Here you can see that mandible is your lower jaw, maxilla is your upper jaw. Okay, these are the three salivary glands. This is the esophagus, oral cavity, and pharynx opens into the esophagus, and then esophagus opens into the stomach. First portion of the stomach is known as the cardiac end because it is near the heart, and the last portion of the stomach is known as the pyloric end. Okay, here you can see that there is a sphincter or a lock present between the esophagus and the stomach. The lock or sphincter which is present at the cardiac end is known as the cardiac orifice or the sphincter. It closes and open the opening present between these two organs, and the sphincter or the orifice which is present between the stomach and the small intestine is known as the pyloric sphincter. Here you can see that this is the pyloric sphincter. Okay, next, this is the liver. Okay, and this is the gallbladder. This is shown here in the green diagram. And now the stomach is continuous with the small intestine. Okay, this is small intestine. It is present in the small area, and it has a very large surface area for attacking the enzyme and the absorption. Now this is the large intestine. Okay, this is the large intestine, and the last portion of the largest intestine is swollen and known as the rectum, and anus is the opening which is used for the release of waste products from the body. Okay, here you can see that cecum is present, and the appendix is also present. These are research is going on these organs and for estimating their exact function. Okay, next is the digestion in the oral cavity. Digestion in the oral cavity has 3 steps: selection of the food, grinding or mastication, lubrication, and the digestion. Okay. First step is the selection of the food. When you eat some food and your oral cavity is bounded by the palate, palate को उर्दू में तालू कहा जाता है, tongue, teeth, and the cheek. Food is smelled, tasted, and felt. If some kind of undesirable substance is present in your food, just like the small pebble or any kind of bone, you reject, you feel unpleasant and rejected this food material. Oral cavity done selection by smell, taste, and the sight. Tongue is also a sensory structure. Various kinds of taste buds are present on the tongue, and that senses sweet, bitter, umami taste. So these receptors are also helpful in selection or removing the food. Next is the grinding or mastication. Mastication is also known as the grinding. Food after the selection or desirable food, mastication is done with the help of your molars. Molars are the last teeth. They have 4 cusps, or they have flat surfaces for the grinding of the food. Grinding of food is necessary because your esophagus cannot allow the large particles to pass through it, and secondly, smaller particles have more surface area for enzymatic attack. Next is the lubrication and the digestion. Lubrication कहते हैं नरम करना, softening of the food. For this purpose, mucus is added into, or saliva is added into the food by the salivary glands. I told you earlier 3 types of salivary glands are present, and their secretion include water and mucus, sodium bicarbonate, and some other salts, carbohydrate digesting enzyme known as the amylase or ptyalin. Water and mucus causes the softening of the food, while sodium bicarbonate and some other salts causes they act as a actually buffer. They neutralize the acidic pH, and ptyalin or amylase causes the digestion of the food in your oral cavity. This is the completion of the topic. Thank you.